Hi guys, this is just a little video for the grown-ups, okay? So what I wanted to do, I just wanted to come on just to talk through the sort of expectations of Miss Khan and I with regard to writing, because we've seen some amazing writing from your children, and honestly, we just want to thank you for all of the hard work that you're putting in at home. It makes it, all this is worth it. And even though we're not in the classroom with the children like we'd love to be, we're still getting to see their work, we're still getting to engage with them, and it just really, as teachers, just really makes us feel good and makes our day. So thank you for that, first of all. I just wanted to come on to show you sort of expectations in regard to writing, as I say. So I think sometimes, and I've found this myself, when you're writing with a child and they don't necessarily spell things correctly, you can sort of think that they've done it wrong, or that they need to cross it out, and you need to tell them the correct answer. And I just wanted to talk through the whole like phonetically plausible sort of scenario. So I think the best way for me to do this is to just show you, because I'm clearly not very good at putting it into words. So for example, if we think of the word messy, okay, so the correct way of spelling messy, as we know, you can't see because my face is in the way, there we go, looks like that, okay, M-E-S-S-Y. But if I'm thinking how a child is going to spell it, they're probably, depending on their phonic knowledge and what sort of sounds they've learned, they may spell it like that, because phonetically, if I sound it out as they would, M-S-E, messy. So phonetically, it's plausible, it makes sense. And when I read it back, I know exactly what they're trying to say. It just might be that they've not learned the alternative E sound yet. So if your children are sort of writing certain words like this, spelling it phonetically but not correctly, please don't discourage that or think that they're doing anything wrong or think that they're behind or anything like that, because that's exactly what we'd expect to see. Excuse me. Now, that's not me saying I want you to encourage your children to spell words wrong, of course not. But if they are spelling like this, that is sort of where they're at and their level of development, and that is perfectly fine. So please don't think that a teacher or an adult in school is going to look at that work and think, oh, they've spelt that wrong, because that's not how we would think. The only words that we would sort of expect to be spelt right are your tricky words. So like the word the, okay, if your child is spelling the and thinking that they can sound it out and just spelling it like that, like the dog, some children might think that that is how you spell the word the, because it sounds a little bit like a the, okay, then that's where we can be like, oh no, remember it's T-H-E, and encourage the correct spelling that way. If, for example, I think I saw one the other day and it was the word thought, like the wolf thought, I don't know, the wolf thought of an idea. So thought, obviously, as adults, we know it's spelt like this. Now, I know that our children in year one haven't, that they wouldn't know how to spell that. So I certainly wouldn't expect to look at a piece of their writing and see that. However, they might have spelt it like this, which, yes, it's spelled incorrectly, but it's phonetically plausible, because if I sound it out, or thought, it's, it sounds just the same as if I was to sound this word out. So again, I wouldn't, if I saw this in a piece of writing, I certainly wouldn't be thinking, oh, they've not got that right, or trying to make them correct it, because at this stage, as a year one, at this time in the year, I wouldn't expect them to know this word. So I just wanted to sort of come on, I hope that makes sense, because I don't want you thinking that you've got so much more to do at home because they're not spelling it right, and you're having to go over things with them, because it ends up being not necessarily their piece of work. Because if they've written a sentence that's phonetically plausible, and then as an adult we're going back in and correcting the whole thing, it's sort of like we might as well have just done that bit of writing for them. So it's just thinking and letting them use their phonics, and that's what we want. And obviously, you know, as grown-ups at home, we wouldn't expect you to know that. So please, you know, please don't feel like you're doing anything wrong, because you're not. What you're doing, supporting your children at home at this time, is amazing. And like I say, we're really thankful for that. I just wanted to make it clear from a teacher's perspective that they're certainly not going to be marked down or, you know, anything like that for spelling things wrong if they're phonetically plausible. So even in sentences, you know, if we think about Little Red Riding Hood, you might have had some of your children spelling little like that. And you might think, oh, that doesn't say little, you know, come on, let's get it spelt right. But actually, if we sound it out, it or little, it does sound, you know, it sounds right. And it's phonetically plausible. So I wouldn't necessarily be encouraging them to correct that as such. I might put it as a spelling in their writing because it's a word we're going to use lots. So, you know, if we're going to be using it frequently and it's going to be on our displays in school and on the word banks and that sort of thing, then yes, I probably would encourage them. Excuse me, I've got a tickly throat. But no, please don't feel that they've done it wrong and that they need to rub it out or start again or cross it out. And if you're finding that actually, you know, we've got the piece of writing done, but you needed to sit there and give them a, you know, quite a lot of support. If they've produced, you know, you've got a piece of paper, you've got your child's writing, you're about to put a snap-on evidence me for us. Maybe if you could just put a little S in a circle at the top, at least then we know that this piece of work has been supported. If they've done it by themselves independently and used their phonics, and you might have needed to remind them a few times to do a think space or, you know, to reread what they've done, or you might be talking through the ideas, that's not necessarily supported. So I would leave that. You don't need to put anything. I'm ever so sorry, excuse me. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. But yeah, the main thing, don't worry if it's not spelt correctly all the time, because phonetically plausible is brilliant. It shows the children are using their skills. So all of these phonics lessons that we're having are being put to good use and they're using them. Like I say, if it's a word that you think, you know, come on, like the word red, and if they've spelt the word red wrong, you can sound that out perfectly. Red. Okay, you can't really go wrong with, you know, a word like that. So yes, I'd definitely then be saying, oh, let's think about that one. But if it is a word that you think, you know what, they've probably never really been exposed to writing that word, or they might not have seen it in print. So yeah, let them use their phonics, and that's absolutely fine. So any questions, please feel free to message me. Even Catherine Johnson's class, if you've got a message and you want to necessarily address it to me, just put, you know, message from Miss Winfield. If you want to clarify anything, then I am here to answer any questions. But yeah, I hope that's okay, and I hope it makes sense. I just wanted to come on and share that with you. Thank you, everybody, and thanks again for everything you're doing at home. It certainly doesn't go unnoticed.